Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. We're about to explore one of the most captivating, unsolved mysteries the internet has ever produced. Imagine logging onto a forum in January 2012 and finding a cryptic image with a simple message: "We are looking for highly intelligent individuals." What followed was a global phenomenon that blended cryptography, art, philosophy, and real-world exploration in ways nobody expected. Even now in 2026, the core questions remain unanswered, and that's exactly what makes this story so compelling. So let's pull back the curtain on Cicada 3301. Here's our roadmap for the next few minutes. First, we'll look at how it all began, that infamous post on 4chan that launched 1,000 theories. Then we'll step inside the puzzles themselves and see how they actually worked, because the technical sophistication here is genuinely stunning. We'll walk through the three major puzzle waves and what made each one progressively harder. After that, we'll explore the big question: who's behind it? An intelligence agency, a hacker collective, or something stranger? And finally, we'll talk about why Cicada 3301 still matters in 2026, long after it went silent. These words appeared on 4chan's paranormal board on January 4th, 2012. No branding, no call to action beyond the puzzle itself, just a simple black and white image of a cicada with text overlaid. The post claimed there was a hidden message inside the image, and solving it would lead to the next clue. Thousands of people took the bait, and within hours, online communities had formed specifically to crack it. What's remarkable is that nobody knew who posted it. No company claimed it. No individual stepped forward. It was completely anonymous. And that anonymity has held for over 14 years now. So what exactly is Cicada 3301? At its simplest, it's an anonymous organization that posted 3 elaborate puzzle sets between 2012 and 2014, each designed to find and recruit highly skilled codebreakers. But calling them puzzles almost undersells them. These were multi-layered cryptographic challenges that pulled in everything from classical ciphers to digital steganography to Mayan numerology. The Washington Post listed it among the internet's eeriest unsolved mysteries, and that reputation has only grown with time. The group signed their messages with PGP keys for verification, which tells us they took authenticity seriously. And then, after April 2017, they simply stopped, or at least stopped communicating publicly. The puzzle releases followed a remarkably consistent pattern. Every January, like clockwork, a new puzzle would appear. The first in 2012 was cracked in about a month by a collaborative online community, but the winners were never publicly identified. In 2013, the puzzles escalated dramatically, sending solvers to physical locations across multiple continents, which is when people started realizing this wasn't just some forum game. The third wave in 2014 introduced the Libre Primus, a massive 58-page codex that, to this day, remains largely undeciphered. After a brief PGP-signed message in April 2017, the trail went cold. Now let's step inside these puzzles and see how they actually functioned. Let's pause here and get our hands dirty with the actual mechanics. Because the brilliance of Cicada 3301 isn't just in the mystery. It's in the sheer intellectual craftsmanship of the puzzles themselves. These weren't simple riddles. They were multi-stage cryptographic constructions that required solvers to be skilled programmers, art historians, music theorists, and literary analysts all at once. The fact that anyone solved them at all is remarkable. Here's where things get technically fascinating. The first puzzle image contained hidden text that you could extract using a tool called Outguess, Steganography software that buries data inside image files without visibly altering them. Once extracted, solvers found PGP-signed messages and more clues. Some puzzles required you to take specific rows and columns from image matrices, converting them into phone numbers you could actually call. And the cultural references were staggering. Goya's paintings, Bach's Trio Sonata in G major, M.C. Escher's eye illustrations, even references to the mystic Rasputin. Every puzzle seemed designed to test not just technical skill, but breadth of knowledge. The consistent use of PGP key 7A3509F was the one thread that confirmed all these messages came from the same source. Now here's the moment the mystery went from internet curiosity to something much bigger. During the 2013 puzzle wave, solvers were given coordinates that pointed to real physical locations across the globe: telephone poles, park benches, street corners in cities spanning 5 continents. At each spot, someone had physically placed a poster bearing the cicada symbol and the next QR code or cipher. As researcher Thomas Bell told NPR, this was the moment people realized this wasn't some random person in their basement. This was a coordinated international operation. Someone, somewhere had boots on the ground in at least a dozen cities worldwide. That kind of reach takes money, planning, and organizational discipline. This is, for me, the most tantalizing part of the entire saga. In 2014, Cicada released the Libre Primus, Latin for first book, a 58-page manuscript written almost entirely in runic script. Solver communities managed to crack some pages, which revealed surprisingly deep philosophical content about freedom, enlightenment, and what Carl Jung called individuation. There was even a message in 2016 that seemed to nudge people back toward the text, saying progress had stalled. But here we are in 2026, and the bulk of those pages remain undeciphered. Think about that. A puzzle has been sitting on the open internet for over 12 years, and the world's best amateur and professional cryptographers still can't fully crack it. That's either the mark of genius-level encryption or something else entirely. So now we arrive at the question everyone asks: who's behind this? The sophistication and global reach ruled out a lone hobbyist early on, but the complete lack of commercialization, no product launch, no brand reveal, no monetization, ruled out the corporate ARG theory too. That leaves us with a handful of plausible suspects, none of which are entirely comfortable, and all of which are fascinating. Let's lay them out side by side. On one side, we have the intelligence agency theory. The NSA, CIA, or Britain's GCHQ certainly have the resources and technical chops to pull this off. And there's historical precedent. During World War II, Bletchley Park recruited codebreakers through crossword puzzle contests published in newspapers. Cicada could be a modern, global-scale version of the same idea. But if an intelligence agency ran it, why the philosophical content about freedom and liberty? And why stop in 2017? On the other side, the hacker collective theory argues that Cicada is a cypherpunk project, digital activists using puzzles to find like-minded defenders of privacy and free thought. The Libre Primus content fits this narrative beautifully, and the complete absence of commercialization or government fingerprints gives this theory real weight. The truth is, we simply don't know, and that's why people keep coming back to it. Here we are in 2026, and Cicada 33011 remains one of the internet's defining unsolved mysteries. The puzzles sparked entire online communities that still actively collaborate to crack the Libre Primus. They inspired documentaries, books, and countless Reddit threads. More importantly, they introduced millions of people to cryptography, steganography, and digital privacy, whether that was the intended purpose or a side effect. The cicada itself, as a symbol, is perfect, an insect that spends years underground in silence before emerging to make itself heard. Cicada 33001 may be silent now, but its impact on internet culture and on the people who tried to solve it continues to resonate. The test is still there, the book is still open, and maybe somewhere, the next clue is already waiting. So here's something genuinely heartwarming about this whole mystery. Cicada 3301 didn't just create puzzles, it accidentally built a global community. Thousands of people, from teenagers in Brazil to retired engineers in Japan, have worked together on these challenges. They've built wikis, Discord servers, and shared Google Docs that stretch for hundreds of pages, all trying to crack the same codes. And here's the beautiful part. Many of these people didn't start out as experts. They learned PGP encryption and steganography on the fly, and those skills translated directly into careers in cybersecurity. The puzzle itself became a kind of open-source university. The Libre Primus, those 58 pages I mentioned, still sits there, partially decoded, waiting. Maybe one of you in this room is the person who cracks the next page. Stranger things have happened. And that brings us to the end of our journey through one of the internet's strangest and most beautiful mysteries. Cicada 3301 gave us no product, no brand, no corporate sponsor, just a question mark shaped like an insect and an invitation to be smarter than we were yesterday. Whether it was the NSA, a group of idealistic hackers, or something else entirely, they left behind a gift. The reminder that curiosity is still the best reason to stay up late at night, staring at a screen, trying to figure something out. The cicada hasn't chirped publicly since 2017, but the puzzle isn't dead, it's just resting. And who knows, tomorrow morning you might open Twitter and see a familiar black and white insect. If you do, you'll know exactly what to do. Thank you so much for your time. Stay curious.